What's up, guys? Welcome back to the TEAM PAWZ channel. Today I'm going to be doing an in-depth look at the EUIC Moon 2024 winner. You guys know that I love the Moon, baby. I love Roaring Moon. I think it's the best deck out there right now. Aside from Charizard, everybody wants to be on Charizard. But as far as the Temporal Forces format, I feel like the Moon definitely shines. This one, it's still second place in my heart. I think Roaring Moon EX is better. I think Double Moon is better. But I'm still gonna give you an in-depth look at this guy so you guys can play the 2024 EUIC Moon. We're gonna go over introduction to the deck real quick. Then we'll get into some key cards and combos, some deck building tips and strategies. Then we'll get into like some of the how I felt about like some of the matchups, and you'll see the matchups. Like I'll post the games. I'll post the games, so you'll see the matchups with this deck and some of the advanced tactics and just maybe like little play tips that I found like as I was working through this deck, trying to get a good feel for it. It definitely won first place. This is just my take on it. So just to start off, let's go through it. Let's go through the Pokemon. Let's explain what we're trying to do. So Charizard, this one. So this is an all single prize deck, right? So there's no EXs, there's no two prizers. The only thing you have to be aware of is Iron Hands, because he has the amped. So he could definitely make a single prizer or a double prizer and take you out that way. But like I said, you have Charizard, easy solution for it. With Primordial Beatdown, for all intents and purposes, that you guys could do 180 damage, but you will most likely usually have Greninja on the bench. So this is a 150 swing max, right? So make sure you guys keep that in mind when you're playing the Charizard. You want to play the Charizard more towards the beginning of the match, and then as we get to the later stages of the match, you go to Moon. Moon is going to do all the big swings. Flutter Mane, okay, let me explain Flutter Mane real quick. So Flutter Mane's ability, alright, it doesn't stop anything that's happening on the bench. It only stops the abilities that are in the active slot. So anything that's happening on the bench doesn't matter. So like Pidgeot, draw engines, Charizard's evolving in the background, attach it to themselves. It doesn't affect any of that. So that's another reason why I don't really like this deck over Double Moon. What this does though is it gives you more ancient cards in play. So like the 4, right? So like the 4 Charizards and then the 4 Flutter Manes is really just to power up this for big swings at the end, because there's really no other reason to like have 4 Flutter Manes in this. Like there's no reason. There's no reason. There's no real reason to have 4 150 swingers. Like this is a 150 swing. Charizard's 330. We really hope it don't got no cape on, right? So this swing doesn't even matter in game. It doesn't matter in game, really, right? So all of this is just to build up this for late games, right? That is the goal. That is the overarching theme of the deck, right? I could use all the Ultra Balls, I could just put them in the active slot, get the kill, right? This could get a kill, get swapped out. I wouldn't even suggest putting real energies on this, but in some situations you might have to, right? And this is just like a throwaway card for the Ultra Balls. Like to get to this or to get to this. Like, I needed another moon. I had some Flutter Manes in my hand. I don't even suggest putting this on the bench unless you're just really trying to swing with Koraidon because of the low HP. The low HP makes it an easy target for like bosses, counter catchers, prime catchers, and it's just like an easy swing for the opponent. I don't really like having more than one Flutter Mane on the bench like at a time. I don't really like it. If anything, your bench should be full of Roaring Moon, right? So, like I said, key cards and combos. Let's get to the trainers. Really loved Awakening Drum. Really loved Awakening Drum in this day. I played Prime Catcher in Double Moon, so this was like, this was nice. This was really nice to have. Like when you have like a full bench of like ancient Pokemon, because you've been swinging with Koraidon, and you just play this, and you're like, boop, 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 boop. Like, that was nice. That was nice, because sometimes I really did need like a draw engine. Maybe I didn't have Greninja on the field like right away. Bam, easy draw card. Like I said, Sada really carries because you're only playing like 8 energies. Now, that's not bad. It's not bad, but because it's split up, right? Because the energies are split up, and you need this for Koraidon, it gets a little tricky, because to do Vengeance, you need 2, right? You need 2. So sometimes this may be in the discard pile, and it allows you to do the Sada, and hopefully, right, you draw into the other energy, right? Hopefully you draw into the other energy. Like, I just need it, right? So Sada is really gonna carry. The rods helped. I use this one a little bit. Mainly it's this, because you're thinning so hard that you may need to put something back into the deck, right? The super rod was really the more helpful rod, but this is like in times of emergency, because for the most part I'm immediately attaching with Sada anyway, so this doesn't really occur, right? This doesn't really occur. The energy is usually already attached to the entire field. So what I would try to do, and what I found was best, right, was swing first, right? When we start getting into like key cards and combos, right? Swing first with Koraidon, and then maybe like after, maybe you might not even get to the second Koraidon, really. Like after the second Koraidon, I'm swinging purely with Moon, because what I'm trying to do is find those easy 2-prizers, especially during the Charizard matchup, and I'm trying to counter catch and pull them out. Like, I'm trying to pull out an easy 2-prizer, because I know Roaring Moon, right? I know Roaring Moon is gonna swing for at least 200. At least 200. And then when you have all the Flutter Manes and the Koraidons and all of these ancient cards in the discard pile, because this is pretty ancient card heavy, right? You probably can swing upward of 200, but you'll at least get to 200, just like the previous Moon deck. You probably, and then you can take out those 2 prizes. You gotta work around Charizard. I wouldn't really swing at Charizard unless you have to, but I would definitely use the counter catchers, the boss, to swing around Charizard. Try to do that as best you can. Now, as far as deck building, it would lower your Moon, right? So like when you get to deck building tips and strategies, it would lower the moon's attack to take things like Explorer's Guidance out, because these are good draw engines, right? These are good ways to draw cards when you're in a pinch, right? Explorer's Guidance just means you got to make some pimp decisions, you got to get rid of some cards, and it's an easy way to get some extra ancient cards into the discard pile when you really need to make a bigger swing with Roaring Moon. So I could see you could probably take like, you could trade like 1 for 1, like maybe 3 guidance and then have another boss just to be ready. You know what I'm saying? Just to be ready to get around another Charizard. Like you got 2 catchers, which is basically a boss. Like you're expecting to be behind on the count. I don't like being behind on the count versus Charizard matchups. I don't. I like to immediately get rid of Charizard. But if you guys wanted to play with some stuff, maybe like Boss and Explorer's Guidance, right? The Pokegear is gonna get you the Sada for the most part, right? So you're gonna always be able to attach from the discard pile, so the energies kind of really don't matter. Like as long as you play well, that you won't have an energy problem. Some of my energy was just pure luck. Like some of the energy draws that I came across in this deck was just pure luck. Like I just lucked into an energy like top deck mode and just got it. Like I got it. And I was like, wow. Like how often does this happen where you're like, man, I wish I had an energy, and boom, it just appears for you, bro. Like it just appears. Like I'm not gonna lie to you, I don't prefer it, but it worked. It worked out. Hey, what can I say? First place winner, baby. First place winner. I didn't like it, but it worked out. So, other than that, when you start getting into like matchups, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. Like Iron Hands matchup, the Lugia matchup, like really it only struggles against Charizard. I don't even think I had a problem with Matang. Like Matang and Dialga matchups. I don't even think I had those type of problems. It's really just always Charizard, and as long as the deck accurately answers Charizard, it can be top 10. You know what I'm saying? Like top 5 even, really. But does it consistently answer Charizard? I don't really like on the matchup analysis side of it, right? I don't typically like it, but it does have its strengths. It can work around it. As long as you're constantly moving the Charizard out of the way, which this deck does. It moves the Charizard out of the way to attack the other 2 prizes. So it works. It works. But how often? How often do you want to draw and push that Charizard out of, like, you gotta find these cards to move the Charizard out of the way. Now it's very doable, and it's kind of like it has good synergy. It has good synergy when you're trying to move the cards around, like trying to find that boss or trying to find the counter catcher, because you're just throwing away ancient cards and you're powering this up at the same time. So it works. But man, I just like a little more consistency. I like that hard, fast knockout. I don't like worrying, where is this? How do I get to this? Like, hey, if you like big brain decks, this is for you. Like if you like that type of play style, hey, this is your deck. This is the deck for you. Advanced tactics and tips. So one of the games I had that sticks out to me the most is I had a Flutter Mane. I was in a Charizard matchup. I had the Flutter Mane on the field, and the only way I could lose was if my opponent had a boss, because all he had was a Charmander left and a Pidgeot. with 2 energies on it. So the Pidgeot could swing for 120, and that 120 didn't matter on any other Pokemon that I had out there. That 120 was nothing. It was an easy W, but I had one Flutter Mane, one lone Flutter Mane sitting on my bench because of the Charizard from earlier, right? I was swinging with Charizard, and all I needed to do was pick it up with the penny. That was all I needed to do. Man, Iono'd me. I lost the penny. He got the boss. Lucky draw. Put the Flutter Mane back into the active slot. It was never in the active slot, but he put the Flutter Mane into the active slot. Beat me. I was like, yo, I'll never do this again. Like, I would never have this problem again. Like, why even have this card in the deck? I get it. I know why he has it in the deck. I understand why he has it in the deck. But man, that hurt. That hurt my soul. Hurt my soul, bro. But anything else that was like super crazy? Nothing really. Everything's pretty straightforward. I didn't really like the Pokestop. This is another one. I feel like Pokestop is pretty hit or miss. I didn't really like Pokestop. Like, I didn't even play it. It's really a trap for the opponent. Like, if they played a stadium card and I had a full bench, usually Artisan or something, like, I put the Pokestop down just to make them use it. I wouldn't even touch it. But I could see, like, in a pinch, when you just really need, right, when you just really need it, you need to get to the Pokegear to get to Sada. Sure. Swing on the Pokestop. Take the chance. You need a rod, right? Swing on the Pokestop. Take the chance, right? That's kind of why he didn't put too many support. Well, I mean, he has supporters in here, but you know what I'm saying? Like, he used Counter Catcher as an item card because he knew he'd get it through the Pokestop, as opposed to a bunch of boss's orders, which is why he probably left this with 4. And he left the Sada because he let, you know, 4 Sadas, you lose a Sada, it's not so bad. You got 3 more, maybe one's prize, you got 2 more, you know what I'm saying? So it's not so bad, but it's like, man, Pokestop, he built a good deck to make it work, right? Like, I could get the rods faster, but I didn't have trouble thinning without the Pokestop, right? Another thing is sometimes the booster, I won't say the booster doesn't matter. That's the wrong way to say that. I would say that the booster helps, but when you get to the EX matchups, is like they're swinging over 200 anyway, right? So like every time you put like a capsule on Moon, he gets 200 HP. The swing is bigger than 200 anyway. So like, you're just like, it's just like, even if you attach it, I'm attaching it at this point just to put it in the discard pile, just to power up the Moon that's coming after it. Like, it's just like a tactic to get more ancient cards into the discard pile, not really a tactic to survive, unless he only had one Charizard on the field, and I took that Charizard out on the second swing, and then now I got a 200 HP Roaring Moon ready to go that's swinging for 200. It's not that easy to knock out, but if he has like more than one Charizard, it doesn't matter. He's swinging every time, and he's gonna kill it every time, and it puts you behind in the prize count, and I don't like that. But other than that, that's a full overview of the deck, right? Pretty straightforward deck, single prize deck. It's as good as it gets, you know what I'm saying? Single prize, this is pretty top tier. Like I said, first place winner, can't take it away. 2024 first place winner. This is the deck. But I like Double Moon better. I played a lot of the Roaring Moon variations, and this is number 2. I would say this is number 2 that I like. I would definitely put this as number 2 in my top 3. Double Moon still holds number 1 because it immediately solves the Charizard problem. If you guys haven't seen my in-depth look at that video of Double Moon and see what I mean by that and just play it, just play that list, you'll be like, oh, I get it. I get it. Makes a lot of sense. But other than that, guys, make sure to like, share, subscribe. Leave some changes that you would make in the comment section, things of that nature. Other than that, I got some more videos coming for you. Peace, guys. Appreciate you tuning in.